Before we start with this video, I just wanted to let you guys know that we do live streams on twitch.tv. We stream things like Monster Super League, Dragalia Lost, Pokemon, and all that good stuff. After this video uploads directly, I'll be streaming the Heroes Festival, so if you guys want to come check that out, you can come by the link stream, twitch.tv/otaku. And yeah, let's get to the video. Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Monster Super League video. Today we're going to be talking about the Jacqueline. She is the Halloween event for this year. This is the third time for her coming back for the Halloween event. So if you guys haven't gotten the chance to get her yet, I would probably recommend farming for her. We're going to be looking over all 5 different elements. We're going to be seeing if they're good, if they're worth gemming, if they're worth like making building. And at the end of this video, I will also show you guys a little like quick tips of where you should farm if you're a new player, if you're an older player. Really just depends how far you're into the game. So yeah, we'll check all that at the end as well. And also we'll be looking at the special package and showing if she is worth buying, or is it better to buy her soul stones from Shady Shop. So let's go ahead and go into Astro Guide, and let's look at the Jacqueline. So I will say something, I might be very biased in this video because if you guys don't know, my profile picture is the variant Light Jack, and I've been using that for a long time for a very good reason. So we have the Jacko-Little, we have the Jacko-Lantern, and then we have the Jacqueline. So she is a tank unit with 37k HP, 2.4k attack, 2.1k defense, 1.9k recovery. Let's look at her variant. Her variant looks very, very bright. I think I prefer the red one because that one's a little bit too bright for me. But let's go ahead and look at the skills. We got defense down for the passive and attack down for the active. So 60% 2-turn and 60% 2-turn for both. The variant leader skill is Crimson Spirit's Blessing, which is not that very important. Honestly speaking, you could get away with not having a variant at all. There's no reason to. You don't benefit anything from it, basically. Yeah, so with books, a friend of mine actually has already built one of her. But with books, you can get her to 70, not fully booked yet, but like with books, you can build her to 70% defense down and 70% attack down, which is actually the same stats as the Fire Bolt Wing unbooked. So I do believe the Fire Bolt Wing also falls a little bit short on the like tankier side. She's a lot more tankier, she has a lot more HP. Her defense is about the same, but she just has a ton more HP. So if you wanted to like have a unit that just survives a lot longer in like Wood Titan and provides a good amount of debuffs to Wood Titan, it actually would be pretty worth building 2 of her for Titans, I would say. 1 in each row, 1 on the left side of each row. So if you guys need some debuffers for your Wood Titan teams, definitely try to build 2 of her if you can. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy to farm for her, but if you can find her and you do get 2 of her, it doesn't matter what kind of gem slots you need for her. Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about the way you should book her for this. So like I said, she is a Titan Mon, she is great for Titan, she'll be your essential user for Titan. So the way you would want to build her is probably, the way I build them usually is HP defense defense. The reason why I build them double defense is because it's easier to heal them up than it is if you put them HP defense. However, HP defense is pretty solid still. So if you want to build her HP defense, that's totally fine. You would put her on a life or protection set. You don't really need a conviction set. This is what Titan we're talking about. It only taunts you once. And on the front row, I believe it's only buff breaker, so it's not really that important. If you're gonna die fast regardless. So yeah, the life or protection set, I would build her. I guess if you wanted to, you could put her on a lot of resist, so you can use her for other Titans as well. But yeah, so HP defense or HP defense, life or protection set, and left side row for Wood Titan. So let's look at the water one. The water one is a 3-star, so we will be looking at this with 3-star stats in mind. So, Jacqueline is a defender with 25k HP, 1.9k attack, 2.9k defense, 1.5k recovery. Good amount of defense actually for a 3-star unit. Decent amount of HP too, and that's not too bad for a 3-star unit. The recovery is really low, which is really nice. Let's see. Let's look at her variant. She has... Oh, the variant looks kind of cool. It's like ice cold hair or something. Yeah, it's really nice. I like that. Her skill sets is 70% CO for 2 turns and 80% taunt for 1 turn. I do believe with books, a friend of mine said that she does get an extra turn on both skills, so it becomes a 70% 3-turn CO, which is slightly worse than the Water Nightmare, but she is a 3-star unit, so you do have to keep that in mind. She still gets that 3-turn CO, which is a pretty solid ability, honestly speaking, early on in the game for PvP. And then her active actually is pretty solid too. 80% 2-turn taunt, AoE taunt. I think that's a good ability, honestly speaking. AoE taunt just screws me over a lot in PvP personally. And you know what? For early PvP defense, if you wanted to build her, she's not too bad of a unit. Now, if you're already like building 4-star units for your PvP defense, there's no reason to build her anymore. This is only for like the newer people who are newer to PvP and want to have like a little early on unit to use for PvP defense. I mean, you probably don't want to build her too high leveled either because you're probably going to replace her soon later in the future, but she could work early on. So the way you would build her is she is a debuffer for PvP defense, so you would build her HP defense or HP defense, probably HP defense. PvP more HP is better so you can survive longer, unless you have like healers on your team. So yeah, I would put her on a life, protection, or conviction set. Conviction set, give her a lot of resist substats so she doesn't get stunned. You don't want your debuffer to get stunned or shocked. That would make them totally useless, so you don't want to do that. But yeah. So the Jacqueline water, pretty solid, I would say. Also, if I didn't say it already, I might be a little bit biased with all the Jacks. Jack is kind of my favorite unit, so. Let's go ahead and look at the War Jacqueline, and let's see the variant. So it's Jacqueline. Yeah, Jacqueline. So 23k HP, 2.4k attack, 1.7k defense, 1.8k recovery, a lot of recovery. Attack stat isn't that high really for an attacker, but I mean it is a wood unit that's an attacker, and early on in the game there aren't that many wood units to use, so it wouldn't be too bad to use her for farming early on, things like seabed caves or B7 golems. She does have Predator and Sap, which are both really solid skills for the B7 golems. So if you wanted to build her for B7 golems, I say it would be fine. Let's go ahead and look at what she is with books. I have these notes somewhere around here. The Woodjack becomes, with books, 45% Predator and the 80% 1-type 2-turn Sap. So it's not that bad actually. 45% Predator. If you wanted to build 1 or 2 of her for B7 Golem farming as well, for you earlier players, again this isn't mod for your late players, this is for the early game players, then yeah, it wouldn't be too bad to build her. You could build her, I would probably build her attack HP, honestly speaking, because more attack and more HP to survive, so you can actually do damage. For the B7 golems, you do want a little bit of resist because B7 does do petrify to you, so you want to try to get that 30% resist substats if you can. If you can't, we'll try to get like at least 20% or something, so it can at least from time to time you won't get petrified. But yeah, so she's not a bad unit for using for your B7 golems team. Would recommend using her if you don't have a B7 golems team yet. And let's go to the light one. The light one is... Where's this light one? Oh, I have her already, so it should be around here somewhere. Like, very near me. No. Don't go back to the lights. Or don't go back to the woods. We have already reviewed the woods. Is she? She's all the way at the bottom, probably. Yeah, she probably is. Right here. So, the Jacqueline, the light one, like I said, I'm gonna be very biased with this one. I like this unit a lot. So here we go. 25k HP, 3.1k attack, 3.4k attack, 2.2k defense, 2k recovery. Never really noticed that much recovery on her, but I guess it is. So, her skill set is 100% chance to restore her own SP on critical hit by 30% chance, and her active is 50% Hunter, which is actually more Hunter than the Dark Tina. The Dark Tina only has, I believe, 30% or 40% Hunter. Yeah, so, no, 40% Hunter, I believe. Yeah, so, the Light Jack, with books, she gets an extra 10% SP on her morale boost, so she gets 40% SP restore on morale boost, and on Hunter, she actually gets an extra 5% damage to the Hunter skill itself, on top of the normal damage you get from booking her. So, the Light Jack, the way I would build her, the way I have her build, is I would build her attack, crit rate, or HP attack, crit rate to use for basically farming. She is a farming unit. She will complement your Dark Tina if you farmed last month. If you haven't farmed last month, then it's a perfect chance to farm for this unit. I would recommend, actually, if you do not have a Dark Tina or Light Tina, it wouldn't be a bad idea to actually get 2 of these, because 2 of these are really solid for a farming team. You can use them in a lot of different places, and 2 of them just do a lot more damage, constantly like knocking down the enemy. So yeah, you would also want to put her on either a Siphon, Valor, or Ruin set. She does do a lot of damage with Valor and Ruin on her, but she mostly excels at using a Siphon set. She has a very fast animation time, so it makes it a lot easier for her to farm with. Compared to the Dark Tina, I think the Dark Tina is slightly slower than her, so I do prefer using the Light Jack over Dark Tina. I will eventually be using both though, because I do have Dark Tina build. Maybe I'll just use my Dark Tina for that, but yeah, she's a great farming unit. Would recommend actually getting 2 of her if you can somehow. But let's go ahead and look at the Dark one. Now, the Dark one, I'm kind of sad that I did this, but I did this because I wanted to get a lot of Spark Hits. Just about a month and a half ago, I sacrificed my Dark Variant Jack to rebirth another variant Spark It. So I'm kind of sad that I decided to do that, because I did not know she was gonna get these books. I didn't even know if she was gonna come back or not. Well, I mean, I should have expected it, but I didn't really think they would do it again for a 3rd time. So the Jacqueline, she has 38k HP, 1.8k attack, 2.3k defense, 2.1k recovery. She is a tank unit. Let's see her thing. It's not that amazing. I think I like the normal one a little bit better, personally speaking. Yeah, so her first skill is Adrenaline, restores 5% of old max HP to all allies, and then for her active, it's 50% chance to inflict 2 types of stab for 2 turns. So with books, that increases by quite a bit actually. She goes from 5% to 10% heal to allies, which, by the way, 10% heal to allies on a Dark Jack is actually a pretty solid unit, and she gets 60% 2-type 2-turn sap as well for her active. If you don't have a B10 team or a B10 healer, she is a solid unit to use for B10 healing and B10 sapping. I would recommend building one of her for sure if you're newer to the game and you don't have your B10 Golems team done yet. The way you would build her is simple, triple HP. She is a healer, she is a support, she does no damage, but she does do sap. Sap is very important for the B10 Golems boss, so it will help a lot. You definitely want to get her fully booked before you start using her for B10 Golems. She'll be more effective then. I would put her on either a life protection set. I guess if you wanted to, you could put her on a conviction set. It wouldn't really make that much of a difference. But yeah, so that is the Jack reviews. Honestly, She is a pretty decent unit overall. She's good for farming. She's good. The light one's good for farming. The water one is not too bad for PvP. The fire one is really nice for Titans. It's really nice for Titans if you don't have like your debuffers yet. You could definitely build 2 of her for sure. I don't personally recommend building the water one but that's because I already have a high PvP team. The dark one's decent for B10 golems, so you can use it for B10 golems as well. Now, is it worth spending 990 Astro Gems to buy her from the special package shop? If you don't want to wait and you're fine with taking your time, then no, it's not worth it to buy her from here. But if you want to go ahead and buy like 1 or 2 for farming, and then you want to go a third one, I believe her exotic dark version requires 2 light ones. Yeah, 2 light ones. But if you wanted to get like 3 jacks for farming and then 1 dark one, you would buy all 5 packages. Then in that case, I mean, you are getting a Gleam Egg. Gleam Egg isn't really too worth it, but I mean, it is another shot at a variant. If you wanted to, you could go for it. But if you're patient and you just want to get 1 light jack, you could probably just get away with buying the soul stones from Shady Shop. I believe they were selling the soul stones here in Shady Shop for the light one, so you can slowly over time buy them. I believe that's what somebody in my Discord said earlier today. So yeah, right here you can buy the like soul stones from the Shady Shop, so you can take your time and just buy them from there if you just want 1 to build. If you sadly don't get it as a square, you do need a square slot for her to build her, the light one, to build her for farming. I will go ahead and show you guys my light jack, just a little quick demonstration, and where I use her for farming as well, like I promised at the end of the video. I believe the books are dropped randomly throughout farming, so like through just farming story and all that stuff. So there's a random chance to get her books. And yeah, so I have mine build triple siphon right now. I have her build attack percentage, attack flat, because I never got another attack percentage, and crit rate. She's not on 100% crit rate, but I do use a leader skill to complement her, so I use my fire gen to complement her, to farm with her. So the best places to farm early on is, if you don't have like a siphon set and any of that stuff, you could probably just farm for her in Pagos Coast. If you're an earlier player, newer player, this is for you newer players out there. You farm her here on the EXP stage, and you can just use her like that, and she's good for like, you can just farm this stage, and it's pretty decently fast, honestly speaking. But that's for the newer players. You want to use her in Pagos Coast and just clear that. So let's go ahead and go through this. Yeah, and the the light jack is really solid unit for like farming this stuff. As you can see, my clear time for here, which is on a siphon set, basically that always happens. 41 seconds is usually the average time I do for farming basically anywhere, and I got a key because I haven't done my looping keys today yet. But yeah, for you like late game player, like mid game players who have siphon sets and you want to farm a lot of jacks, like your main goal is to farm as many jacks as possible. This depends on how fast you can farm it. If you can't farm it that fast like the other stages, I would recommend just doing Phantom Forest, EXP stage, and just run it there. It's easier to farm there. This is if you have a siphon set and you don't have enough damage to actually KO other units. It's better to farm it in Phantom Forest. That's where I usually farm it when I'm specifically farming only for the exotics. That's a pretty fast place to farm. But if you do have like more damage, so you can farm more, then you can technically farm anywhere as long as you can actually just achieve the same amount of time as you can on Phantom Forest. If you can't, you farm on whatever map you farm the fastest on. It's as simple as that. A lot of people like to farm the gold or EXP stage for the Slumbering Cities. It's actually a pretty good amount of gold, and I do recommend it if you don't have it. But yeah, so like this is the stage people usually farm. It's a solid stage to farm for gold. I farm here a lot. I've been farming here a lot recently, and I've been gaining a lot of gold from farming here. So I mean, I would recommend it actually. It's not too bad of a place to farm. I guess the only thing I have to say about this place is I wasn't used to it originally, so it took a little while to get it like adjusted to it. But yeah, as you can see here, my units are taking their time, taking 3 turns to actually farm for this. So for me, if I wanted to really farm out this event, it wouldn't really be that worth it to farm this place because I don't get my SP bars fast enough to be able to farm this place efficiently. But if I wanted to use it for somewhere else, such as like Phantom Forest, Seabed Caves, I would be able to achieve that easy 41-second time like nothing. So that wouldn't be a problem. Also, my Lightina isn't gemmed yet. I haven't bothered gemming my Lightina yet. I'll probably gem her later, but not right now. I wanted to put my Lightina on a Siphon set, but I gotta farm for a Siphon set. I don't really have that many sigils right now to farm with her, but yeah. So, yeah. So if you guys can farm Slumbering Cities, I would recommend farming Slumbering Cities, even if it's a little bit slower to farm it. Maybe a little bit like 10 seconds slower than Phantom Forest. If you want to get some more resources, some more gold, it's actually better to farm Slumbering Cities. But if you want more exotics, just farm the fastest map you can. If you're a newer player, farm Pagos Coast, normal. It starts off from Pagos Coast and forward. You can do any of these normal because it's easier when there's more Astramon there to farm again. So there's 4 in each row basically past that stage of Pagos Coast. So it's easier to farm normal stages. And of course, for you endgame players, I have to point this out. Yes, it's pretty obvious that if you guys can achieve the same amount of time as Slumbering Cities, go ahead and farm Aurora Plateau. You're not losing out on anything and you're getting more gold. Go for it. I can't do that. I have to do Slumbering Cities. Slumbering Cities is a lot faster for me than anything else. But yeah. So that is the where to farm for the Jags. So yeah. So this video has gone on for long enough, guys. So I will see you guys again in the next video. Again, if you want to buy the Light Jacks for farming, I mean, I use them a lot. She's been really solid of a farming unit. If you already have a Dark Tina Evo 3, I guess you don't have to worry too much about it. Dark Tina Evo 3 is pretty solid as well. But if you wanted another farming unit to complement Dark Tina, a Light Jack wouldn't be too bad of an answer either. If you have 3 Light Tinas and 1 Dark Tina already for farming, you're already set. You don't really have to get another farming unit, honestly speaking. But if you're a newer player and you didn't get a chance to get the Evo 3 Dark Tina, take this opportunity to farm for the Light Jack and get her to Evo 3. She's a solid farming unit. If you need a B10 support healing unit, get the Dark Jack. Yeah. Light Jack, Dark Jack, my bad. Alright, I'll see you guys again next time, and ciao!